From the news leader, it's 4 a.m. This is Good Day on Fox 4.
A massive fire at an industrial facility in Grand Prairie rages on. These are live pictures of that scene. We'll have the latest on this developing story coming up. The state admits mistakes led to big backlogs of results from COVID-19 testing. Now, local officials are telling residents do not trust the numbers in their own county. Joe Biden is officially the Democratic nominee for the race to the White House. Party leaders rallied behind him during night 2 of the Democratic National Convention. Good morning. It is Wednesday, August 19th. I'm Brandon Todd.
And I'm Hanna Battah. Thanks for waking up with us.
We begin this morning with a massive fire in an industrial area in Grand Prairie. Firefighters have been battling this for hours. Fox 4's Dan Godwin live with the latest. Dan, what do we know?
Good morning, Brandon. We are still trying to find out what we can. Information at this point, a little bit hard to come by. Understandably, police and other first responders have their hands full with this situation. We can tell you that this fire broke out just before 1 o'clock this morning at the Poly America facility. The company makes plastic construction and trash bags. It uses polyethylene, one of the most widely produced plastics in the world, from what we can find out. You're looking at live pictures near President George Bush Turnpike and Marshall Drive on the city's east side. So far, no reports of any injuries. It's not known if anyone was inside when the fire started. The cause is also unknown. One of our photographers did hear several explosions as the facility burned. The fire also burned a number of rail cars, we are told, nearby. We're told some of those rail cars contain flammable materials. Understandably, police have started blocking off streets in this area. It's not known yet. We're trying to find out if anyone's actually been evacuated from nearby homes. There are some power outages in the area. Power lines are a concern. We're seeing a number of power poles that appear to be in the way or in the line of the fire. But again, that's something we need to check out and see if we can get more information on. Brandon, back to you.
Yeah, Dan, real quick, I know our photographer on the scene there, Terry Van Sickle, was reporting that these towers, these power lines that you mentioned, are 50 to 60 feet tall, and if one of them were to fall, it could bring down clearly the lines that would stretch, at least in a mile in each direction. And apparently, he's also saying that a crash truck right now from DFW Airport is on scene and appears to be working to try and cool these electrical towers. And Dan, I don't know if you can tell there, but it looks as if the fire wasn't bad enough. Now firefighters have this that they have to address.
Yeah, a lot of the information we're getting is what we can see at this point. We've yet to get an official briefing from anybody with the fire department. But yes, what our photographer, Terry Van Sickle, described is what he was able to see. Some very tall power lines, very tall power poles. And if they go down, that would take a lot of power lines with them, which could lead to additional widespread power outages or power problems. So that's something we're checking out. Again, still trying to get what official information we can. And yes, you also talked about a fire truck, some firefighting equipment coming out from DFW Airport in order to deal with this situation.
They're actually able to get to this fire. I know you've covered these in the past where sometimes the heat from these industrial fires is so intense they really can't get that close to even get water on it.
Well, we aren't, from our vantage point, able to see any firefighters actively dealing with this fire. As you can imagine, yes, we are being kept quite some distance from the flames. But certainly when you're talking about heat, this is a massive fire. And in the 20 minutes to half hour we've been here, at this point it appears the flames are getting taller, the fire burning even more intensely. So again, just based on what we can see from our perspective, it would appear at this point that the fire is still the fire is still growing. So and as far as the positioning of firefighters, yeah, the amount of heat thrown off by a fire of this size is enormous. So that's just yet another challenge that firefighters would face who are on the scene here.
All right, Dan Godwin live at that scene. We'll get back to Dan here later in the newscast for an update. I think we're going to go to Chip right now because this is clearly going to create some traffic problems for quite a bit of the morning, I imagine.
It absolutely will, Brandon. Thank you very much. And as you heard Dan talking, there are several areas in Grand Prairie, along that Grand Prairie-Arlington line, where you have closures. It's going to be a large location. So anything north of Park Row, anything south of Division, as you look in this area, are going to be closed. Every side street, you can see the fire from this camera angle at 360 and Division looking due east. So that's about a mile away, a mile and a half. And you can still see several small explosions, as Dan mentioned, with the train that's right next to it. We've seen more and more of those flashes as the fire continues to rage on. And then you combine the power line issue. Yeah, this is going to be something that's going to linger all day. So please, again, be ready for closures in that area around that plastics plant. Driving right now around the north end of the airport, you have some road work that is still going on. Northbound on 121 plus westbound on LBJ approaching the 121 interchange. Around the I-35W interchange with Highway 170, there are work crews in that area. And I want to finish off quickly with this. In the last couple of minutes, moving just a little bit west of downtown Fort Worth on I-30 westbound at the start of the Chisholm Trail exit. There's been a recent wreck there, and currently that exit ramp is blocked because of the activity in that location. So please keep that in mind. Let's check in with Evan this morning.
Well, Chip, this is easy. I'll tell you, other things are hard this morning, but weather is pretty easy to take around here. Yesterday, as promised, it was pretty hot. It was in the mid-90s in the afternoon, 95 degrees, but we're coming off that. Today will be a little bit less hot, and record today 107 set back in 2011. As we walk out the door this morning, I realize the fire is the big story. There's not a lot of wind this morning, but there are a lot of these comfortable temperatures. DFW is at 70 degrees right now. It's 64 at McKinney and 63 at Bonham. I mean, that's like cold for this time of the year. 70 degrees this morning, about 86 at noon, pretty warm in the sun, and then we finish the day at 93. Kind of hot, but not humid. There is a pollution watch due to the light winds today. All right, we'll talk about the 7-day forecast and scan the tropics coming up in a few minutes. Let's get back to Hannah.
All right, Evan, thanks. Well, Governor Greg Abbott says reporting issues with COVID-19 testing sites in Texas have since been fixed and are going to get more accurate numbers in the near future. The State Health Services Department says formatting and coding errors led to a backlog of tens of thousands of cases not reported publicly when the positive tests initially came back. The governor says the department did not have the capacity to log the actual number of cases coming in. He also blamed private labs, but he believes the issues that have caused uncertainty in recent days are resolved.
For maybe another few days, there could be some numbers adjustments that are coming in, but the problems underlying that have now been solved. I have greater confidence today than I've ever had in their ability to make sure that they are fully capable of accounting for all test and test results and reporting very accurate results.
The problem led to Dallas County reporting more than 5,000 cases Sunday. Some of the cases were positive tests from as far back as March. And that issue showed up in Dallas County's reporting from yesterday. The county says 550 of the new 787 cases it reported were actually cases from June and July, and they were just found by the state. There were more than 1,600 cases and 22 deaths reported Tuesday in the four most populous counties in our area. Statewide, there were nearly 7,300 new cases and 216 deaths reported. Private vendors might no longer be hired to run COVID-19 testing sites in the Dallas area because of concerns with timeliness and accuracy. The city of Dallas and Dallas County ended their $14 million contract with Hanna Management earlier this week. The city says the company promised to have test results back within 3 days, but the average wait was 6 days. Dallas County started investigating after Fox 4 reported some people waited more than a week to get results from testing sites run by Hanna.
Dr. Fauci says when you don't get your results back within 5 days, it really gets to be less valuable to contact trace. And we want to get those results. We want them to be accurate and timely.
Well, it's unclear how much money the city of Dallas paid Hanna Management, and the county hasn't paid any part of its decision in the deal.
The Democratic Party formally nominated Joe Biden to be its presidential candidate.
Delaware is proud to cast its 32 votes for our favorite son and our next president.
Our friend, Delaware, Joe Biden.
This year.
The roll call of states was done virtually. Two of the party's rising stars from North Texas spoke last night. State Representative Victoria Nayave and Congressman Colin Allred. Joe Biden's wife, Jill, spoke about her husband's character, and former President Bill Clinton said Donald Trump does not deserve a second term.
You know what Donald Trump will do with 4 more years? Blame, bully, and belittle. And you know what Joe Biden will do? Build back better.
Joe's purpose has always driven him forward. His strength of will is unstoppable, and his faith is unshakable. Because it's not in politicians or political parties or even in himself. It's in the providence of God.
Joe Biden's running mate, California Senator Kamala Harris, will give her acceptance speech tonight. Former President Barack Obama and 2016 presidential candidate Hillary Clinton are also expected to speak tonight. It is 12 minutes after 4 o'clock. Coming up on Good Day, he's waited more than 3 decades, and after disappointment after disappointment, the Dallas Cowboys legend may finally receive the highest honor in football.